My name is Paulette Booth, co-founder and director of Agence AXA International, and with me is Armelle Perben, founder of Absolutely French. Together we're going to shed some light on insurance and banking in France and the unique aspects that you may find when moving here. So let's dive right in.
Yes, I'm happy to see you today. And just to start, in France, many internationals find it difficult to pay fees for a bank account. Can you tell us a bit more about this subject?
Absolutely. So people moving from the UK may find that it's quite unusual to actually pay for a bank account or even a bank card. And sometimes in France you pay for both. In the UK, generally, if you're paying for something, it's to get extra services like travel insurance on your bank account. But it is quite normal to pay for a bank account and a card in France. It's not overly expensive, but it can be quite unusual. How do you find the cultural experience?
Yes, for French people, paying for a bank account is just like you get more service and it's more personalized. So it's just in the French way. Everybody's do it, and just a sense of formality to get services. And you said that in AXA you don't pay for a bank account.
No, the AXA bank account is free, and the card is free if you reach certain limits spending with the card. So quite unique.
Yeah, very good to know, I think. Yeah. Now let's talk about the school and property insurance, and because there is a specific term of RCVP, so maybe you could explain what is this?
Absolutely. So this isn't something that anybody coming from the UK will be used to. In the UK, you don't need to have public liability insurance, but in France, part of your home insurance includes RCVP, which is Responsibility Civile Vie Privée, and that does just translate to public liability insurance. Certainly in terms of school insurance, again in the UK, you don't need school insurance, but you do need school insurance for France, and that's to cover damage or injury caused to someone or something. How does that have an impact on the cultural adaptation in France?
Yes, in France we have a strong emphasis on individual responsibility. So within the community, the impact you can have. So this type of coverage is really seen as to protect others in the cultural aspect. So it's important to understand that, and then it's normal to do it for the others.
That's from an insurance point of view, just to reassure people, if there is a claim on school insurance, it's just an administrative task. It's, you give your insurance details to the other parent. For example, your child has run into somebody else in the playground, they've fallen over and broken their glasses. There will just be a claim for the replacement glasses. It's not like you're being taken to court or anything huge. It is just, you just give your insurance details, and the two insurers arrange the refund for the new glasses. It's really, it's not a huge thing. And school insurance costs from €10 a year. So it's not it's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, and it's a quick things to do. And also in 20 years, I have kids, and I never had anything on this point. So
Same.
Don't be afraid on this one. It's just 10 years by year. So
yeah.
Paulette, you can compare how it works in France and compared to UK?
Yeah, so if we look at the basic insurance of home and car insurance, home insurance is fairly similar to the UK, except in the UK, insurance is all risks. So if you, say, break something accidentally, it will be covered on your insurance, whereas France is multi-risk. So you're covered for a list of guarantees like fire, theft, climatic events. So a little bit of a difference there. And it does include that Responsibility Civile Vie Privée, the public liability insurance, and that will be included automatically in your home insurance. Car insurance, very, very similar to the UK, with the third party fire and theft fully comprehensive, except it takes 13 years and potentially a medal to get to your full no claims in France. If you have a claim, you don't lose all of your no claims, you just lose a percentage. So you don't have to restart 13 years to get up to your full no claims in France. So that is quite different. And also assistance, breakdown and recovery is included on your car insurance in France, rather than being with a separate company, with more of an emphasis of recovering the car and taking it to a garage than, say, roadside assistance like you would have in the UK. So fairly similar, but that can have quite an impact culturally for what people would expect moving to France.
So it's very similar with school instrument, because in the French society we have a high value on security and prevention. So it's why we have also take care of that with very attention. It's very important. So adjusting to this mindset for the international is very important. So it will help them integrate easily in France. And just to so we do the health insurance or what? Finally, healthcare. So it's also a big adjustment, and maybe you can have a quick talk, because it could be another podcast, because it's a big issue for healthcare in France. So can you just tell us a little bit?
Absolutely. So I think certainly moving from the UK, where you're used to not paying for any treatment, apart from obviously dental and optical, moving to France, you will pay for a visit to the doctors, like €26.50, and that can seem quite strange, but you do get a refund from that of, on average, 70% will come back from Social Security, and then the difference will come from your mutual top-up policy, but there are probably more exceptions than rules on the 70%, and I think, as you said, healthcare, I think we'd need to cover that in a whole new podcast, because it could take us a lot longer. It could be a whole topic in itself.
Thank you, Paulette. So it was very interesting to have all this fun together. Thank you to followers. And if you have any question, please ask it in comment on LinkedIn directly, so we could answer to you. So it was a podcast from your experts in France, brought to you by the Franco-British Chamber. Thank you.
Thank you.